Yo guys, my name is Iago and welcome back to Let's Play Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc, where we last left off. We just started chapter 6. We were found guilty of the murder of Mukuro Ikusawa, and Kyoko has come to save us, and we are going to figure out who the mastermind is, and we're going to pretty much finish this game. There's chapter 6 and the epilogue. The epilogue is pretty much just all talking stuff. So, keep on going. The ultimate despair. The group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people who put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Suck, but we have a way to open this door. Oh, fine, we'll talk to Kyoko first. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
That's right. Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Hey Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then... yes, it opened!
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Yeah, it's pretty much a skeleton key. If you don't know what a skeleton key is, it can pretty much unlock any door in the house. Like, a lot of times in scary movies, there's a skeleton key. There's actually a movie called Skeleton Key, but I can't remember if there's an actual skeleton key in it. Finally, we were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. Because we could have said that Kyoko lied. I'm trying to hear the Danganronpa. Oh, that was a different one. But, you could say that Kyoko lied and that about her not being able to get in her room, which she can. She can get into her room using the Monokuma key. So, after leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up, like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. Thank God for Kyoko's really shadowy underskirt. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. Oh, so, Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So, how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So...
ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So...
right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort? Yeah, because if you show bias towards one, it can easily sway your thinking and all that. So it kind of understands why they're like, we don't care if this is for good or evil, we're just gonna figure this out, you know.
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational, but it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains... Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. The reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all these years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However...
There's something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented and had a promising future.
However...
But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. And young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's why anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However...
But there's one thing that I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I had to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family? To just cut him out like that?
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? No. Only connected by blood, not by heart and soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. I need a new frickin' chair. Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Looks like we're back. But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. Can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. So, now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out... And I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So
Then let's just get a correct, concrete answer. Huh?
in other words,
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's...
however,
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. And it's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't. Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared? You said something like that before. What does it mean?
So...
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
Right.
If we could talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. It'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little... no, super uneasy about this. But we really don't have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. How do you know he's in the gym? How do you know this? How? Teleport. Hey. Just yell his name. That works. Worked with Makoto and Byakuya, I think.
Well.
Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead! What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay? You were supposed to be punished! Can Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again! And this time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko!
Right.
Do whatever you feel you have to. What? But
However,
before you do, let me just say one thing.
no.
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? Huh? I lose? You! Explain yourself! What do you mean by that?
Because...
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
in other
I was
words,
supposed to be chosen as the blackened, and then executed, right? Hey! What are you talking about?
however,
But then Makoto chose to overlook my lie. Your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting, because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect the other like that.
right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you killed it.
am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro. You did.
Listen,
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the blackened is me and not Makoto. And you can prove this, right?
wow.
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? You make such bold claims without a shred of evidence.
That doesn't
I
matter.
don't have any right now. But with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there's only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
Because...
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you loved so much. Or you so loved to inspire. But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
Indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
if you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh?
Indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey,
Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair, fair and square,
that's what we have
then I
to
suggest
do.
you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
Do Mugro's trial over again. Only this time, you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's
Time for one last showdown.
One final battle between hope and despair. Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial. One last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mugro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed! Barry?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So, time for some bear jokes. Now, what you suggested might be plausible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
in other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You got
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? It would cause you unbearable despair, right? That I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory? Let's have one final grisly showdown! You agreed. Do we still have a shot at this?
Barrett!
But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end.
You guys!
So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that, then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mugro's death and solve the mysteries of the school, then you win. But if you can't do all of that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement! When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? So you mean despair? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to
When
me.
we uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this has all turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure. So what?
hey,
I just want to confirm. That is what you said, right? And it's a true statement? You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations. And having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that. Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception? Then it's part of the school regulations? Which would have to mean that whoever killed Mukuro... It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns! Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step at Hot Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why'd you go quiet all of a sudden? I'm done talking! I've got nothing left to say to you! So get lost, would ya? Why so mad? He seems emotionally unstable. Leave me alone! Get out of here! Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
Hey,
Come on, Makoto. Let's go. Okay. Oh my god, his voice hurts my throat. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. Ugh. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life. We still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
However...
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
So...
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
Because...
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let down their guard, like I said. So, when was it that the mastermind let their guard down?
So...
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
Listen.
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However...
And yet somehow, the mastermind was able to do it.
In other words...
But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason?
So...
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us, killing each other. They wanted to show the world? The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all the rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
In other words...
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
Correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey.
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
That's right.
For those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair, the mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal, as the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous!
It's true.
You're right. It is ridiculous. Completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it must make you. And yet, that same motivation is what led to the mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
In other words...
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The mastermind has had to be more particular than... The mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
At the very least...
At least, that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves?
Indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules, to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, they made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they had to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words...
It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they violated their own regulations. But all that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge.
However...
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got another chance. That we got that chance. Because you believed in me, another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
Wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell if you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. While presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I showed my uneasiness, that would just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However...
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
Correct.
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it will cost us our lives. There's no option except to win.
Hey.
But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone.
However...
Is that really possible? Huh? Anyway, right now we have to go we have to go find the others.
Shall we go?
They're probably in the dorm somewhere. Shall we go? Actually, they're not in the dorms. But they'll probably make me check them. At least one of them anyway. That was his Despair Hotel though. Like, the mastermind seriously changed that. I wonder if I can just skip and go here. Yes, I can! And suddenly, we were greeted with... You again. Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. Jeez, what the heck?
However...
I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Ah!
Is that Makoto?
I like how Toko is secretly relieved. Like, it looks like normally she'd be like oh, it's, you know, it's Kobe. She's like, oh my god, he's okay. We've got this. He's surprised. She's surprised. She's secretly relieved, and he's like, Byakuya's just like, what? What?
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
You survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or not.
But you're not a ghost, right?
Everyone was there. All my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
Wait, what's that smell?
What the
Yeah,
heck?
man, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog. Get away! Shoo, shoo! And in a flash, my tears dried up.
Makoto.
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain? Explain what? But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial.
Huh?
Last class trial?
In other words...
We're going to redo Makuro's trial.
Huh?
What? Seriously?
How about
What's the
that?
point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it. Like I keep telling you.
Wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer. And of course it's not me or any of you. Then, who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is, it was all the work of the mastermind.
Huh?
What? You're saying the mastermind killed Mukuro?
That's right.
That's right. It was all in an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to stop it.
However...
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What?
You
What
spotted
did
the
you say?
trap, did you, Makoto? You made it sound like it was easy. I just, you know.
However...
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time.
Huh?
And the mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you?
Correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. We said, now it's the mastermind that's ensnared. That's what you were referring to.
Don't be mean.
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again, later. So, knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Murkuro, right? So, our job is to expose the mastermind? But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we had to solve every last mystery surrounding the school. Every last mystery?
But
Well, we've been looking all around this time, and we still don't know anything, right?
Anyway.
You've probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies. Everyone? Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with things the way they are. I'm fine living here forever with Master. Blech. I meanwhile want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible. Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth. In other words,
Interesting.
one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say. But figuring out who the mastermind is, and how they killed Murkuro, and all the school mysteries, it's a pretty tall friggin' order. Maybe, but this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh? I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. You can't agree? Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
Indeed.
That's what I thought too. At first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. Hint? It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyways, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
I see.
Monokuma said that, did he? That Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable.
Huh?
But why?
So in
If the
other
mastermind
words,
really is the one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had set foot in the school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there is no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
in other
But
words,
according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. I can't read. Then the mastermind is... There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add in Mukuro, and you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them?
that's right.
And of those 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue, or do you get it now? You're saying the mastermind is one of us?
No way!
You can't be serious! Wait, we can't say that for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said that to confuse us.
Indeed.
It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair. So they must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active? Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret.
But
I don't care how sneaky you are, we would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
I'm right.
And maybe
right?
Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all this back and forth conversations with us. Well, it would be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Well, maybe, but still.
is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now. At this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode.
That says true ending
in the
mode.
name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school. Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
How very of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
In the name
At this
of my
point,
family.
I can rely only on myself, on the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility.
Goodbye.
Well then. After making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. Master! He didn't take me with him!
Hey.
Do you blame him? Without Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream, or coffee! You're totally useless! So, bye. With that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall. And now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko?
Indeed.
That's right. Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
Just a
Wait,
second.
how come?
How about
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall. Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves? What about you, Hina? I guess I'll do the same thing.
But,
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know? But
I mean,
up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died. Makoto. That's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've mostly been totally useless.
okay.
So I figure, at least that here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us all get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
Indeed. So you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko?
However,
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we can't still work together.
so...
That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see it as us splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
So then...
Well, I better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
Correct.
Monokuma said all the doors in the school had been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before.
Makoto.
Makoto, no matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary. With that, Kyoko was gone, leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I had to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of the school. And then we can all escape together. I guess I'll start by taking another look at Ruko's Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Once we find out who killed Muko Ikosama, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So where should I start my investigation to figure out who killed her? I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up till now. The headmaster's room, the biolab, the door in the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? After that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder, which means the garden and the dojo. Okay, time to get started. Okay. So, we will start from the bottom up. We'll start here. I didn't even know these were here the first time I played it. I didn't even know these stairs existed. we can finally check out the second floor of the dorms. Which means I have to do it. Yeah, I didn't even know they were here. This is the second floor of the dorms? It looks like some ancient ruins. Or no, it's more like a battlefield. Like a bomb blew up here or something. I never noticed that spot of blood there. Okay, those are bathrooms. I don't think we can go in here yet. Oh yeah, this is just a bedroom. You can get a coin in here, I think. In there, I think that's about it. Is that an eye? I never noticed that. Interesting. There's a lot of, okay, don't need to go in there yet. I need to find the other. In here. This room doesn't really feel like a student's room. It's a more adult atmosphere.
Correct.
It's the headmaster's private room. Kyoko!
Indeed.
I've been through this room several times already, but I still have one little regret. So I decided to check it out one more time. A regret? Kyoko looks almost meek right now. She must be thinking about something. I probably shouldn't bother her. There's a strange gap in the wall. Is it some kind of design mistake or a construction defect or something?
So...
There's a gap here, but not just any normal gap. I can feel a breeze coming out. A breeze?
Indeed.
There's likely an open space on the other side of this wall. Open space? Does that mean... You mean like a hidden room? I think I might know how to open it. You know how to open it? Did you figure out some kind of trick or something?
Indeed.
A very easy trick, yes. So easy, I'm not sure you can even call it a trick. I saw a program on that PC that I think controls it. Enter the right password, and the door should open right up.
However...
But I don't have a clue what the password might be. All we know is probably made up of letters and or numbers. We can't really go from there. You're right. That's not nearly enough to go on.
It's true.
I looked through all this paperwork, all the files on the PC, everything I could think of. I learned more about him than I had any desire to, but nothing that might have been his password. When I think of how much time I wasted on this. There's a PC on the desk. It must have belonged to the headmaster. Whoever used this last, it looks like they were very interested in the ultimate despair. The PC still has some search results left on it. But then we might be able to get some info on the ultimate despair.
However...
There's not much though. Nothing we don't already know.
In other words...
The ultimate despair isn't one individual, but instead points to some kind of group. That group is responsible for the tragedy, which happened 1 year ago. They're the worst sorts of people, whose driving force comes from despair.
However...
And that's all there is. Not much to it, is there? But I guess that's the best he could do as a complete Kirigiri failure. But any information about the mastermind is helpful, right? I appreciate whatever info we can get our hands on.
Correct.
I see. That's a good outlook to have. Jeez. So there's a hidden room she couldn't get into. That's what she meant by regret. I think we can assume that there must be some kind of clue waiting in there. But maybe for her, there's more to it than that. Anyway, if we want to get in there, we need to figure out the password. If Kyoko can't figure it out, no way do I stand a chance. No, wait. There might be a chance. The password could be something Kyoko wouldn't have thought of, or something she didn't want to think of. For example, what about your name?
What?
Huh? Oh, sorry. I was just trying to think of what the password might be. I'm sure she hasn't tried it. I mean, it's totally understandable. After the way she talked about her dad, the idea that he would use her name as his password, knowing how she is, I bet the idea never even occurred to her. Do you mind if I try it, just to be sure?
Well... It's
not like you need my permission. If you want to try it, try it. Do whatever you want. Okay. You know, I'm glad I thought of trying Kyoko's name. But if that's not it, that might just hurt Kyoko even more. Okay, my battery is already low on my computer. Give me, like, 1 second. Oh, damn it. I thought you were good on battery. No, you lied to me. You lying sack of food. Computer. Okay. You're worried about me, Makoto. If you're worried about me, Makoto, don't be. I already know that your guess is wrong. Okay. In that case, here goes nothing. I collected myself, then turned to face the computer monitor. Still can't talk. Let me just type the password here. I typed in her full name, Kyoko Kirigiri. My hands were tense, slightly trembling, as I finished typing it in. Hey, look at that! What? That did it? Kyoko, it worked!
Why?
Kyoko? Without looking at me, she disappeared into the hidden room. She looked grim. Kyoko. Hey, Kyoko? I may as well not have even been in the room. Her gaze was fixed on only one thing. A present? Wrapped and covered with such joy. That's what made it so unusual. There's a brightly colored box here. It seems totally out of place in here. The more I look at it, the more suspicious I get. Should we open it? I'm getting kind of a bad vibe from it. But I mean, we can't not open it. Okay.
Makoto.
Be careful, Makoto. Why, you think it's dangerous? No, not dangerous. But surprising, probably. Huh? If it's what I think it is. At the very least, it's not something you'll be happy to see. Wait, so you know what's in here? In there?
Anyway.
Just don't scream or anything, okay? Are you saying it's something that'll make me want to scream? Okay, I'm just gonna open it. Step by heavy step, I approached the box. I took a deep breath, then took hold of the lid. Slowly, ever so slowly, I lifted it up. Light began to sneak its way into the box. I stole a hesitant glance inside and... Kyoko's advice was no use. I let out a trembling cry. What was in the box? What's in the box? It was bones. Human bones. It was the last thing I expected to find in such a bright, joyful box. I mean, who could have possibly imagined? What's in the box? Just as I thought. What? Just as you thought? How could you have known that? I mean, there were bones in there. Human bones.
Wrong.
Well, it's not that I was thinking of the bones specifically. I just had a feeling it would be his body. That's pretty much the same thing! A dead guy in a box! My father. Huh? What about him?
Correct.
What you found in the box? Those bones. That body. That's my father. Nice to meet you, headmaster! Your daughter's really nice! She's really smart! I'm trying not to let her die. Or at least, what's left of him. Are you serious? This is Kyoko's dad? The same man she's been searching for? Hold on. How can you know that for sure? How do you know that's him?
So...
Given all the information we have already, it's the only possible answer. So that same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out. And according to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. It seems possible, even likely, he's somewhere in the school right now. Yeah, remember the guy at the very beginning of the game? That was him. It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Host Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. Alter Ego said the headmaster was probably here in the school, but the only ones who were alive at the start of the killing game were our 16 students. When you put those two ideas together, it doesn't take much to assume
in other
that
words,
most likely my father was in the school. but he was also dead. That's my assumption anyway. As Kyoko explained her analysis, she was completely calm. Or no, she wasn't calm. She was only trying to seem calm. She said it just as she thought, so she knew it was a possibility. But I have to believe that at some point she wanted to be proven wrong. Which is why she never looked in the box herself, even though she had plenty of chances. I know Kyoko said she wanted to see her father so she could cut off all ties. But was that all there was to it? I gave up some of that pride. In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. Would she really give up her pride just for that? I couldn't help but wonder. This filing cabinet seems like the kind of place you'd find a clue. I should take a closer look. But I don't think Kyoko would like some stranger like me touching her dad's stuff.
Hey.
It's fine. Check whatever you want. Are you sure? Okay then. I went through each drawer one by one, starting from the top. What I found were piles and piles of unrelated documents. He was pretty dedicated to his job, huh?
Well?
It's just because he didn't have anything else. He could have inherited our family business, our legacy. Instead, he left it all behind.
Now...
If he couldn't even handle a job like this, he would have been that much more of a failure. I'm sure he couldn't stand the thought of that, and it made him desperate. This picture... It's all faded. It must be pretty old. Wait, is this a picture of... Hey, Kyoko.
Why would you...
This is annoying. I came here to cut myself free of the past. And yet... to now find something like this? So what do you expect me to do now? Then I was right. It's a picture of Kyoko when she was a little girl. Knowing the headmaster had this picture all this time, he must have really cared about her.
Why?
Why? What? I wanted to face him and tell him myself. To cut him out of my life for abandoning me. That's the whole reason I came here. Now he's abandoned me again. And this time, he even stole the only opportunity I had to move on. Has there ever been a worse father? Kyoko. But it's not his fault he died! There's really nothing else but to look in here. His desk. There's nothing in here. Oh, there was. Oops. It's an e-handbook, right? And it has a label on it that says in case of emergency. I found some kind of emergency handbook in the headmaster's desk.
In other words...
A handbook with no limitations, given to the school's ultimate authority, the headmaster. I'm assuming that's what that is. I think you're probably right.
It would seem...
It might prove useful as we continue our investigation. Why don't you hold on to it? But Kyoko, I don't need it. If you don't want it, go ahead and leave it here. Then, I guess I'll take it. Is it really okay? Listen,
Hey.
Makoto? Huh? Can I ask you a favor? A favor? What is it?
So...
I know it's completely unreasonable to ask you this. And I know it only inconvenience you that much more, but...
Hey.
Could you leave? Huh?
Correct.
Just for a little while. I'd just like to be alone for a bit. Kyoko, don't worry. I'm fine. I just need to calm down a little. I need to...
Just a second.
Get my emotions in order. You know, Kyoko, you told me before about the relationship you had with your dad. How you're only connected by blood, not by heart and soul. But maybe that picture motivated him. Maybe he hoped to see me again someday. Is that what you're going to say? If so, it's just a theory. And this isn't an issue that can be settled with theories. That picture doesn't change the facts of what happened, what I went through. That problem can't be solved so easily. You're right. I'm sorry.
Anyway...
Since I've got myself under control, I'll return to the investigation immediately. So please, just give me some time to myself. Okay, I understand. Then, I'll see you later. I think she takes the picture with her. That's my theory, Kyoko, is that you take that picture with you. Is she really okay? Kyoko, it must have been a complete shock to her. I mean, it was a shock to me. To find out what happened to the headmaster. There's no doubt the mastermind performed that evil deed. They killed the headmaster. Killed Kyoko's father. They killed him. The headmaster is dead. The one leading the Hope's Peak staff, the one who finalized the plan to isolate you, was the Hope's Peak headmaster. So that same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out. And according to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. It seems possible, even likely, that he's somewhere in the school right now. But we were wrong about that. The headmaster wasn't the mastermind. Which means the mastermind's true identity is... It's a very polarizing approach. Okay, yes. Shush! 15 of us met in the mail hall. Add Mukuro to the mix and you get 16. And including me, only 6 of us are still alive. Everyone else is dead. I was gonna say something. Okay, that makes me wonder though. They can't have been even Mukuro. Even she's undeniably dead. So the ones still left alive are me, Byakuya, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and Kyoko. Only those 6 people are still alive. Then there's no question. Wait, no, that can't be. I refuse to believe it. There has to be some other way. There just has to be. Alright, so we're going to go to the locker room. But, I was thinking... because when I watched the anime, the Danganronpa 3 anime, it looked like... the cast from Danganronpa 2 and, like, Seiko... what was it? Seiko... and everybody else, like the people from Future Foundation, that they were all like in the same class. So why wouldn't have could there have been more than just 16 kids from there? Like what if, I don't know, it just seems like there could have been at least double that amount. Like actually like 32 or 40 kids or whatever from that same year. But that's just me thinking. This room is filled with lockers. It must have been for the Hope's Peak students who came before us. The class before ours must have used these lockers. I wonder if I can open this locker. Nope, locked. There's a card reader installed on the door. That must be how you get the locker open. After all, it's pretty similar to the card readers for the locker rooms on the 2nd floor of the school. You have to use your e-handbook to open those up. So does that mean... Well, let's just give it a try. I took out my handbook and ran it across the card reader. And then... No luck. Maybe only the locker's owner can open it, which means none of us can do it. Wait, but what about the emergency handbook I found in the headmaster's hidden room? Okay, let's give it one more try. Took out the emergency handbook and ran that across the card reader and... Alright, just what I was hoping for. Now let's see what we got inside. This locker is totally disorganized. Whoever it belongs to probably has organization problems in every part of their life. This is a crystal ball. Crystal ball? No, it can't be. There's no way he ever used this locker. It's just not possible. There's all kinds of textbooks and notebooks stacked up in no particular order. And dust everywhere. I have to assume whoever stuffed this is didn't do a lot of studying. Not that I can really talk. Trying to write as casual and natural as possible, I picked up one of those notebooks I saw. But the moment I looked inside the notebook, any sense of easiness I may have had evaporated. What? There's no denying what I saw. Inside the notebook was written Yasuhiro Higakure. Is this our Yasuhiro? The notebook also contained a large number of notes for a variety of different classes. Which would mean he attended classes here? No, that can't be possible. I mean, Hiro came to this school at the same time as the rest of us. And we were all sent into this evil world. We never had the chance to take any classes. So what is this notebook? Oh god, I don't remember what's next. And we'll see that locker open. Let's see what we've got inside. Oh my god, I guessed it right! This thing is practically empty. There's just one thing. Some kind of pocketbook. I always thought a pocketbook was like a purse. That's what we call purses here. At least my family does. I don't see a name written on it, so I can't say for sure whose it is. But there's some writing inside. It could be important. I don't like violating the owner's privacy, but I better take a look. Looks like a girl's handwriting, and all the letters are spaced out evenly, like whoever wrote them was measuring them. Whoever wrote this must have really been meticulous. Huh? I was flipping through the pocketbook, but my hand froze when I got to a certain page. I saw something familiar written there, words I'd heard before. There is a plan to turn Hope's Peak into a shelter and isolate the students here in a communal life. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. It just so happens to be the headmaster and my father. He was willing to give up some more details regarding the plan. Here's what he said. The point is to keep our student prodigies safe, to keep them as our hope for the future. Only their genius can overcome disaster, and only their hope can overcome despair. For the future of our country, for our world, it's not an exaggeration to call this our final hope. We must isolate our superior youth from the corrupted world to serve as the foundation for a new era. This is the only hope we have. I hope that you'll be willing to go along with this plan. So that's what my father had to say to me. As usual, he made a selfish decision without consulting anyone else. I can't imagine a worse father. This can't be true, can it? But I knew it was. I knew exactly who the pocketbook belonged to. Kyoko. It couldn't be anyone else. But if this belongs to Kyoko, what was it doing in this locker? And what she wrote here completely contradicts what she already told me. She said she hadn't seen her dad since he left when she was little. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. It just so happened to be the headmaster and my father. What does this all mean? I quickly scanned the remaining pages of the notebook. I must have been looking for something that would have proved me wrong about this whole thing. But when I reached the last page, there were question marks spinning through my mind. Just started spinning that much faster. When I looked at it, unlike the rest of the pocketbook, the writing here was messy, disorganized, scrawled. Despair walks among us. What is this? What does it mean? I have no idea. How could this possibly make any sense? Despair walks among us and so we survive. There's a second despair. But the more I see, the less it makes sense. Because these lockers, I mean, they had to belong to the previous students, right? So why am I seeing this? Why are there things in the lockers that look like they belong to people here? A notebook that seems to belong to Hiro, and a pocketbook that seems like it belongs to Kyoko. There has to be some kind of explanation. But if I want to find that out, I had to keep moving the investigation forward. I had to believe in everyone. Alright, so next stop is... wait. Go... Alright, we'll go to the data center. It's the next stop. Alright, and I'm gonna go ahead and end this off here.
Hey, Makoto.
I haven't saved anything. Oh, maybe I have. No, save please. Yes, it's the end of chapter 5. Alright, I'll leave this off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you liked it, leave a comment if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye! How someone has to feel with that going on behind you. Like, just...